What's up, everybody? It's the Bipolar Prophet, and welcome back to Old Ridge Farm and Farming Simulator 15. So, a couple of things. First off, you can see we're down here on Field 1 with a mostly harvested field of sugar beets. The other thing is, BP, that's not the Ropa. No, it's not. So, you guys knew that the last episode of this was really bad laggy, right? And I did my usual fix. I went through and I checked all my mods and stuff, and I wasn't getting a lot of mod errors, but the ones I was getting were mostly from the Ropa, unfortunately. Now, you guys know that I was the guy who sort of pushed for that. I was the guy who, told Reefy, hey, we should get a self-drive sugar beet harvester and, write it into the story so that we all go in on it, right? Well, unfortunately, I can't have a lot of errors in my log with this map. You guys know how important this is to me, how important it is to the channel, how much I enjoy it, and I know how much you guys enjoy it. So, unfortunately, things that cause errors have to go. I need to optimize this whole operation as much as I possibly can. So, for the story, what I'm going to say is that, I contacted Mike, I contacted Cuthbert in the major and said, I don't really do that much sugar beet production anyway. Those three do a lot more than I do. So, do you want to buy out my share of the Ropa, for a reduced price, obviously. And then I'll kind of go my own way. Unfortunately, I didn't want to. I really like the Ropa, but I don't trust it. It scares me. I can't have the errors. The other thing that was causing a lot of my lag was, you guys know, I've done quite a few edits to this map. I'm not a modder by any means. I'm at best an editor, and I'm not even a good one. A good editor, as it were. And I was changing mostly where grass was and where I didn't want it. Right, those were the things I was really changing. Besides adding a few little things here and there. But what I wasn't changing was the GRLE file, and oh, does that hurt to say? I wasn't changing that, and I didn't really know, how to do it or what I was supposed to do with it or whatever, and I did some research and I figured it out. So I changed that as well, and that cleared up a lot of my lag too, because what was happening was there was one fruit density GRLE file in the map itself, and then one in the save game, and they were conflicting. So the game didn't really know what I wanted it to do, so it was just lagging really bad. So I ended up fixing that problem. Unfortunately, when I did that, it kind of bonked up soil mod, but I think soil mod will come back around after a couple of growth cycles. It'll figure itself out. So, anyway, so what I want to do in this episode is finish this sugar beet harvest. We also have potatoes to harvest. You can also see that up in the weather that we're going to get some hail. It is hot today here in Old Ridge. And there's some weather moving through. Now, I can't harvest grain. I also have barley that's ready to harvest. I can't harvest grain in hail, so hopefully we can get the sugar beet harvest done, get started on the potato harvest before this gets started. I've been out here since 3 o'clock in the morning because, as you guys know, sugar beets have to be harvested in a very narrow temperature window, Too hot, they're no good. Too cold, they're no good. And it's been hot, and I want to get this done before the sun comes fully up. I've been field dumping them over here because I don't have time to wait for the guys to come in. They're not here yet anyway, to run back and forth, with the tipper. So I've been field dumping them, and that'll help them cool off a little bit as well. So anyway, before the sun comes fully up, let's jump in this, and let's get finishing off. Now, I did a lot of this off screen because, as you guys know, I've been having my issues with my tongue and my my throat and everything, and I just have not been able to record. So get this started up, and I had to do something. So I was like, you know what? I want to play at Old Ridge. I don't normally like to play on this map unless I'm recording, but it is my favorite map, as you guys know. It's my favorite sort of place to be, and I wanted to do something. So I was doing some map editing, and I was testing the map and checking some things and all that. And I said, you know what? I might as well, let's go ahead and harvest these sugar beets because the hail was coming, because it was getting warm here in Old Ridge. And I needed to get these sugar beets out of the ground before it got too hot. Because what will end up happening is British Sugar won't take them. If they every so often when you bring in a load of beets, they stick them. They put a thermometer in a couple of beets to check sort of the overall temperature of the load you're bringing in. And if it's too warm, it breaks down the sugar inside the beet, and it doesn't. It's no good. And it can also contaminate all the other beets. So, and British Sugar obviously doesn't want that. So they'll turn you down. So I come out here real early. It was dark, it was 3 o'clock in the morning to get this started. So I knew this weather was coming. It's been warming up here in Old Ridge pretty significantly. So, I knew this weather was coming. So I wanted to get this done before the weather really hit. Oh, phone. Why not, right? Of course, because I'm recording. So let me just deal with that real quick. Oh, just more junk phone calls. It's 21st century. You think we'd come up with a better way to handle trying to sell stuff than calling people, for no apparent reason. And I always wonder why, the people who call, right? Do they not do any research on you? Your whole life's on the internet. No matter how careful you are. I get calls from like people who want me to invest. Have you ever looked at my stuff? You clearly haven't, because you know that I don't have any money. So how am I going to invest anything? So that's what's kind of been going on. Also, I should point out that today is election day here in Old Ridge, and the polls open at 7, I believe. I believe they go 7 to 10 o'clock, I think is what Mike said. Now, obviously, as I've said numerous times, I can't vote because I'm not a British citizen. I'm only a resident. But if you are a British citizen and you are from the Old Ridge area, please go down and vote for Mike. Because, we definitely need somebody on the council who will be the dissenting voice for when the Crawford Browns propose something stupid or something that isn't good for the parish. And I really think that's going to be Mike's big role on the council when he gets on, and I'm fully confident that he will, is to be the dissenting voice so that other council members aren't afraid to vote against the Crawford Browns. And of course, his big thing about being on the parish council is to get on the committee that handles the common ground, the common land, the parish-owned land, so that we continue to have access to it. We're doing a lot of work to it. I'm putting a lot of money and a lot of effort and a lot of labor, a lot of diesel, a lot of seeds, blah 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 into it. And I don't want it taken away from me again after I've done all that work. So, and of course, this is the first step for Mike to get on the district council, where he can unseat the Crawford Browns and be done with that nonsense once and for all. We hope. But that's next year, so we can start that campaign after he gets seated on this council. Stop. I don't want to have to turn this beast around. Oh, I don't want to have to back it up, I should say. I will say this is a pretty cool rig. I don't own this. I rented it, hired it in, So, because I don't really, to step out of the game for a minute, the Ropa is awesome. Don't get me wrong, it's great. I love it, but I just don't trust it. So unfortunately, whenever now, in this series, whenever I make a change, I have to have a story snippet to go with it. So my story snippet was that I just don't do enough sugar beets. I don't have the acreage really to sort of justify paying on that Ropa. So I didn't make any money off it because I still owed a little bit of money on it. So basically, they took over my end of it, and that was it. So this wasn't ridiculously expensive to rent, 10 grand, 2 of which I'll get back as a deposit. So I'm going to rent a potato harvester as well. I do have the topper, but I need to rent the harvester as well. So. What else needs to be done here in Old Ridge? Well, lots of things need to be done. I did walk the fields. I spread a bunch of stuff on the fields. I will see if once I get a couple of growth cycles in here. As you can see, everything's set to 2 days, just to slow everything down, like I've said over and over and over again. Hopefully, Soil Mod will sort of figure itself out. It was my own fault because I made changes to things that Soil Mod has, influence over. So Soil Mod was like, okay, well, you're going to change all this stuff, then I'm going to break for a while until I figure myself out. Okay, that's fine. Luckily, I did all the changes after the sugar beets were sort of up and ready to go, so whatever the yield was sort of locked in at that point, and it isn't awful. I'm hoping to get 100 tons off this field. That's the goal. So what I want to do in this episode, like I said, was get this done and probably get them loaded up into a tipper, or a couple of loads, obviously, into tippers, and get them down to British Sugar, And then in the next episode, we will be, assuming the hail hasn't started yet, we will be harvesting the potatoes. I'll go pick up my potato harvester that I've rented. So. Again, Chad, Chad has the network with everywhere. He does rent stuff. He does hire stuff out, but he doesn't have a huge sort of selection. But he definitely has the connections with the people that do. Call him up and say, I need this, and he'll get his people on the phone and, say, hey, I need this, deliver it here, and blah, blah, blah. So basically he has it delivered to the shop. I go pick it up, They take their money. Chad takes his little bit for being a broker, and I'm perfectly happy with that. So. Maybe you want to see this operation, huh? I'm kind of just driving along and not really showing you what's going on. Actually, it would be easier if I was in this view and went there. There you go. Works pretty well, especially when you drive in a straight line. So I'm pretty happy with it. I like it. I'll rent it again next year when I put Sugar Beets back in the ground. Mike has the two great big fields that he plants in sugar beets. The Major has a massive sugar beet operation. And Cuthbert has moved up in the sugar beet operation as well over the years. I haven't really. I've sort of stayed at the same level. And I really just don't, I don't need the ROPA anymore, unfortunately. So I did catch a little hell because, they were like, well, wasn't it your idea to get it in the first place? Well, yes, it was, but I may have been a bit over ambitious with the amount of sugar beets that I thought I was actually going to produce. At some point, too, once things calm down here a little bit, and once I get sort of caught up on a lot of this work, I'm going to take you on a little tour of the things that I've changed on the map to this point. I have more changes planned, but as you guys know, I tend to do that stuff in the, in the Old Ridge winter. So I do have another version of the map with some work changes on it. The Compost Master is being constructed as we speak. I saw the trucks go down with a load of all the parts on it. It's funny, I thought it was going to be a lot more parts, but it really isn't. It's basically a big hopper, the cooking unit, which was 2 parts, a bunch of conveyors and things, and I guess they just bolt it all together, hook it up to a fuel source, and off we go. So they've also brought the tree planter over to Chad's, over to the dealer, so I have to go pick that up, and they've brought some tree saplings down to that area already. They're on top of it. I'll give them credit. I mean, they know that I'm busy, so they may actually have somebody else plant those trees. I may not have time to do it because I need to get my half of field 12 there seeded as well. And probably when Perry and Phil come in, one of them are going to end up doing that. Not going to be in a big rush to get this field reset. It can sit here for a little while because I probably won't put corn on it. I'll probably just put winter wheat or winter barley on it for next year. So it can sit here for a few weeks yet. Apologize if I get quiet. As you guys know, my throat, my tongue problems. I miss making videos so much that I wasn't gonna just not make videos anymore. Even though it hurts and it's uncomfortable, and I may not be the most understandable person at the moment, because of the lisp and everything. But I miss it, and I didn't want to just sit around and not make videos anymore. I wanted to make videos, so it was pretty much that simple. I'm just trying to catch some of these bits that I miss when I make the corners, because obviously with this thing, it doesn't really pick up when you go around corners too well. So, and of course, here I go, just driving all over the field. Am I going to go through the hedge? I'm going to go through the hedge, aren't I? Oh, just going to clip the edge of the hedge. Sorry, hedge. Because obviously every time you turn, it swings the harvesting unit out, the lifting unit out the other way, so it doesn't pick up the beets on the inside of the corner. So, but that's okay. We can always go back and get them. I'm not going to worry about doing it right this second, but drop. Thank you. Getting full. This holds 6,000 liters, or 6 tons is what I like to say, of sugar beets, because I think you'd measure sugar beets in tons and not in liters. So 6,000 units, whatever that may be, whatever your preferred unit is. For me, it's tons. So tons. Guess we can add T to the list of letters that BP can't really say anymore. today is Monday. You guys will see this on Tuesday, on Wednesday. I'm sorry, because hopefully I'll record with the guys tonight, with the old timers in the forest. We'll have a bit of a faff with that and have some fun as we always do. And so that will go up on Tuesday. Now, am I going to get full before I get to the end of this row? Yes, I am. And that's full, and we can lift this up now, turn it off. We can actually turn the front off, too. We'll go over here to my pile, put out the pipe. Nope, make sure you're on the harvester, though, otherwise the pipe's not going to work. If I bring up my HUD, let's see if we can get close enough to have it tell me what's actually in here. Thank God for placeable piles. Best mod ever. 82,000. Yep. We might just get 100 tons. That'd be good. And there we go. Fold that back up a little bit. So it's taken about 3 hours of real time to harvest this field. At 5 miles an hour, obviously, because you don't want to go much faster than that when you are harvesting beets. But so in a way, it's good you guys didn't have to sit through that, A lot of really just me driving back and forth is all it really is. I do really enjoy it, though. Oh, let's see, 17 minutes. I'm trying to decide. It's not like I'm trying to rush through these videos by any means. It's just that I'm trying to decide how much pain I can withstand. And I don't mean to keep saying that to make you guys feel sorry for me. Believe me, it's not that. It's just, it is a fair amount of pain to talk, so. But I gotta do it. I got to. It's driving me crazy not making videos, so. So I'm trying to decide if we finish this field and then pick up the beets, or if we finish the field and pick up the beets in the beginning of the next episode and then go over and harvest potatoes. We may do that. It may just be us harvesting this field this time, and then picking up the beets in the next episode, I guess. The animals are all set. I took care of them already, so. I do have a lot of pigs to sell, though, because I didn't bring them the last time. So, and actually, the butcher was calling me, and he was like, "Are you going to bring those pigs? Because I could use them." So I need to get those over there. Those pens need to be mucked out. They need to be fed. So I need to cut grass. I need to bale, which I obviously can't do with the hail coming. So. And of course I have barley that needs to be harvested. There's always so much stuff to do here at Old Ridge. On any farm, obviously. But I can't do anything with the grain while it's hailing, or going to hail. And I can't harvest yet because it's so moist. It's not super hot at the moment, but the temperature is rising pretty quickly. But it's so moist that there's a lot of moisture on the grain, and you can't harvest that because then it just clogs up your combine, and it's just a giant mess. So that's going to have to wait until this hail passes. And until this moisture comes out of the air and we get a good sunny day. And hopefully I don't lose too much in all that. A couple more rows here, I think we'll be done. And I'll go back off screen and pick up all the loose, the beets that I got with the topper but didn't get with the lifter, so. I am definitely the first person to be harvesting sugar beets in the area, just because they went in so early. I kind of screwed up this season, for timing and everything. I got to try to be better for next season. Kind of have to deal with this season for what it is, but next season I want to do better. Just enough room to catch the last row of beets there and then turn around without putting the topper through the hedge. Yeah, I guess one more pass up here, and that will be that. And that will be Sugar Beets, 2016, here in Old Ridge. Early. Oh, well. At least they're up, they're out of the ground, so I'd like to get them over to British Sugar before the hail comes. I'd rather not be delivering them in the hail, you know. It won't hurt them, but... And actually, when we go over there, I can show you the change I made over there, too. Just something I was looking at for a long time, and I didn't like it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to change that. So I did. I think if I was smart, I'd go straight through there, right? And not have to make that turn quite so sharp. And it might actually keep me from having to pick up so many loose beets. A little bit of lag looking this way, mostly because, well, two reasons. One is I discovered, if you guys remember straight ahead there used to be, right on the other side of the main yard, there used to be a silage pit there, right? And I got rid of that a long time ago. I didn't delete it, because for some reason when you delete silage pits, it gets rid of your animals. I don't know why, but... so what I did was I just dragged it underground, and I planted grass over there, and I don't think it's particularly happy about it. So I get a little bit of a stutter in that direction. Plus also the sun's coming up over the mountain there, so that causes me a little lag, as you guys know. But it won't be coming up for long because the weather is just getting darker and darker. It's going to get ugly. So it's going to be a little wild here in Old Ridge today, I think. Might be an early day. I might even call the boys and tell them not even to bother showing up. Because you can't really do anything in that weather, you know? Today might be a wash. I don't know. I suppose I could go muck out the animals. I could do that by myself. I'd really like to get these potatoes up, though, before this hail comes. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how long this all takes, I guess. Just to catch this this lone little stand here that I missed. Don't think we're going to get another full load off of this. Maybe. To be honest, I'm pretty happy with the yield. You know, I usually try to shoot for 100 tons. I don't have a set number, obviously, with British Sugar. You know, they'll take however much I make, however much I actually grow. But I like to shoot for about 100 tons. So, and of course, you got to have the right size field for that. There's no point in putting sugar beets on a small field. So that's why I try to use my bigger ones for it. Unfortunately, sugar beets and potatoes, you know, you don't want to put them in the same field year after year because it just destroys the soil. But so I got to rotate them around. I may not even do sugar beets next year because I don't think I have a field big enough to sort of make it worth it in my rotation at the moment. Maybe field 3 over there. Maybe it just might be big enough. I gotta say, I like this topper a lot better than I like the one from Farming Simulator 13. I'm sure you guys remember that one. Which basically just looked like a big box, and I realized that that's a, you know, it's a real thing. It's an actual real life implement. I just didn't like it. I like this one a lot better. This one just looks cooler. So this one is the sort of the front unit of of a sugar beet harvester is what it is. So of one of self-drive harvesters, I meant. Okay, let's pick that up now, and we'll spin around one more time. Obviously, this field's going to need to be plowed. I may just go to plowing them all because, Soil Mod really would prefer that you plow. It's kind of designed for that, so I'm going to have to make some exceptions to the way that I'd like to do things versus the way that it would like me to do things. So as we come down here to this last bit of sugar beets, I'll do my outro. Again, make sure, guys, go and vote. And how do you vote? Well, you know what? You can go to Mike's page, and leave a comment in his last Old Ridge video, or you can leave comments in here saying, hey, I voted for Mike, or I didn't vote for Mike, or whatever, But vote for Mike. He's the guy we want. Mere man's our man. That's the way I look at it. That's our slogan. He's going to be good for the parish. He's going to be good for the valley. So he's the guy we want. So show him your support. Because, again, without him, this would not be, this series would not be what it is, And, of course, without you guys, too. And, as always, make sure you let me know what you think. If you like the videos, if you can stand listening to the Bipolar Penguin here for a while, I certainly appreciate it. I thank you all for your support and your well wishes and everything else. It means more to me than I can possibly say. You guys are the best, no matter what. You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you to each and every one of you. Get this up, turn it off. Get this up, turn this off. Excuse me. I almost went the whole video. But again, I can't help it. We can actually turn that off. Thank you so much, guys, for everything, for coming to the channel, for liking, for commenting, for subscribing, for sharing the videos, for giving me your tips and your suggestions and your ideas. Thank you. It means everything to me. It really, really does. Make sure to check out everybody on the Monkey Show approved list. They're all great YouTubers, great friends of mine, and definitely worth a subscription and a like on their videos. Also, make sure to check me out on all social media links that are in the description of every video. And as always, thank you so much for making me a part of your YouTube day. And this is the Bipolar Prophet saying, see you later.